Hi, Melissa Wick here. Today's yoga practice is great for beginners. We'll be moving through a few staples and foundations for a flow practice. So I'll be cueing you through different alignments so you can start to feel a little more comfortable as you start to grow your yoga practice. So get into something comfortable and let's get started. So we're going to begin in child's pose. So if you have sensitive or tender knees, you can put a blanket underneath to support, and you're going to bring your toes to touch with your knees out wide. And then we'll walk our hands forward and rest our forehead towards the mat and let your hips sink down. And from here, we can close our eyes and we'll start with 3 breaths together. So breathe in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Breathe in. Exhale it out. Breathe in. Exhale out. And just gently close the lips. Return to your natural rhythm of breath. And starting to tap into our inner worlds, noticing how we feel here without any judgment. And starting to feel our hips get a little bit more heavy, surrendering into this pose. Relax the shoulders, relax your jaw. And simple breaths in and out through the nose. And then from here, we're going to slowly lift ourselves into a tabletop position. So you're going to bring your knees hip width distance apart, and then your knees are in line with your hips. You're going to bring your hands shoulder width distance apart, spread your fingers wide, and your hands are shoulder width distance apart, wrists underneath the shoulders is what I want to say. So from here, we're going to inhale. We're going to lift the gaze and tilt the pelvis. And then we're going to exhale, curl the tailbone forward, and then draw your chin towards your chest, puff up the upper back. Inhale, come forward. Shoulders out of the ears. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale to your front extension. You can close your eyes here. Exhale, curl the tailbone forward, round, gently pushing the floor away from you. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, curl and round. And then inhale, come to neutral tabletop. So you want to practice here, try dumping your shoulders in, and then do the opposite, protracting your shoulders, so pushing the floor away from you. And then you want to find the middle ground between the two. So you're broadening the upper back, and then making sure we're not dumping our belly down towards the mat. You want to draw your belly button in towards the back of the spine. So there's a tone here. So here we're going to bring the weight into the left palm. You're going to extend the right leg back. Sorry, bring the weight into your right palm. The left arm is going to extend forward. Your right toes are flexed. So here, make sure that belly button is drawing to the back of the spine. Reach through the fingertips and through the right heel. Keep looking down towards your mat, finding your breath here. Notice if you're dumping your weight in one side more than the other. Try to even it out. Take one more cycle of breath here. On your next exhale, gently release your hand and your knee back down. Take one cat-cow to release that. So inhale, lift the gaze, tilt the pelvis. Exhale, curl the tailbone forward and round. Inhale, come to neutral. We're going to do the other side. So this time your right arm is going to extend out in front of you, palm face in, weight into your left palm, and then extend your left leg back. So your toes are facing down, reach through the left heel. Draw your belly button in towards the back of the spine. Find that even balance in your weight here. So your core is turning on. This will help warm us up. Reach, find length, keep your head in line with the spine. One more cycle of breath here. And then on your next exhale, gently release palm and knee down. From here, you're gonna tuck your toes underneath. You're gonna shift your weight up and back to downward dog. So we're pushing through the palms. Your feet are hip width distance apart. You can start to bend one knee and bend the other here. Just starting to open up in the hamstrings. Push the weight evenly in your palms so your thumb and pointer finger are rooted down. Sometimes we bring the weight to the outer edges of the hands. And then from here, bend your knees a lot. Push the floor away from you and send your sit bones up and back towards the ceiling, the back of the room. And this is going to create length in the spine. So I like to imagine my pubic bone reaching through my sit bones. That creates more space and length. And then once we have that, making sure we relax the neck so our ears are by our biceps. Slide the shoulder blades down the back and then extend the legs out. No, doesn't matter if your heels touch the floor. From here, we're going to bend the knees, look between our hands, and then take as many steps as you need to come to the top of your mat. So your feet are hip width distance apart, and then folding here. Slight bend in your knees so we're not locking the knees out. And then just take a moment to rock back on your heels, and then rock forward, rock back, rock forward, and then find that middle ground once again. So the weight is even in the feet. So draw your belly button up and in just to allow ourselves to fold here, release the neck. From here, we're gonna come into a halfway lift. So you're gonna inhale, tent up your fingertips onto your shins, and then use that traction to find a lift in your spine. So a halfway lift. Pause here. Head in line with the spine, glide the shoulders down the back. It's as if you can balance a teacup on your back. So you're sending your sit bones back and you're reaching through the top of your head. On your next exhale, we're going to fold here, forward fold. So we'll do that one more time. Inhale, hands to shin, halfway lift, get nice and tall. And then exhale, fold here. Now we're going to inhale and we're going to root down with our feet to help us rise as we lift all the way up. And then exhale, your hands come through to heart center. And then release your hands down by your side. We're going to find a Tadasana mountain pose shape here. So you're going to root your feet down, feet hip width distance apart. See if you can lift your toes up and then put them back down. You're going to find all four corners of your feet. From here, you're going to gently let the kneecaps lift. So you're hugging your muscles to your bones. There's a slight tone here. And then you're going to draw your tailbone slightly forward. So we're going from this position to gently drawing your tailbone forward. Keep that slight tone in your belly. You're going to lift the shoulders up, back, and down. And then have your palms to face forward and open. And then notice here if your chin's a little bit forward or if you're leaning back, try to let the head hover in line with the spine. So mountain pose. Even though it may seem like a simple pose, there's a lot going on. We still have awareness throughout everywhere, even the fingertips. So from here, we'll sync our movement with breath. So we'll keep this here, but we're inhaling, our arms are gonna lift up. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Exhale, your arms will come down. And then again, inhale, arms lift up. And then this time we're going to slightly bend the knees and hinge, fold forward over the hips with a flat back and then release. Take that inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shin, flat back. Exhale, fold. From here, we're going to step our left foot back behind us. And we're going to gently place the left knee down. You can always bring that blanket back to your knee. So from here, you want to make sure your right ankle's in line with your right knee. We're in low lunge here. You're going to imagine the scissoring action in your hips. So your right heel is drawing back, your left knee is drawing forward. You'll feel your inner thighs start to activate. From here, you can take your hands onto the top of your right thigh. Now maybe here you can play with lifting off, easing off, and then sinking forward. So just finding and feeling here rather than coming in and clenching really hard. So if you need a little bit more stability, sometimes I find if I engage my left glute, that'll bring me a little bit more stability. Relax the shoulders out of the ears. From here, maybe you inhale and you reach your arms up, thumbs back, pinkies forward. And then we're going to exhale, take your hands down on either side of your right foot, and then you're going to shift your weight back. So your right leg's going to extend, come onto your right heel, your right toes are going to come towards the face. And then glide the shoulders down the back, head in line with the spine. You're going to find this dragging action of your right leg. Inhaling and exhaling. And then on your exhale, you're going to roll through that front foot, bend that right knee. Place your palms on either side of your right leg. Power up your back leg, and then step back to a high plank. So your feet are hip width distance apart, so are your hands. And remember, find that middle ground between dumping your shoulders and puffing. So broaden the upper back. Your legs are engaged. Your belly is toned. You're always welcome to come down to your knees if you'd like. From here, we're going to breathe in to prepare, and then on the exhale, we're going to shift our weight slightly forward. You're going to keep the elbows hugging in, and you're going to push through the palms evenly as you exhale down all the way to your stomach, your belly. Point your toes. From here, glide those shoulders down the back, press into your palms, lift here for a cobra. So your pubic bone is drawing down, tops of the feet are pressing down. And then your heart's reaching forward and up. From here, we exhale, we lower, tuck your toes underneath, prepare to come up through to tabletop. So inhale, elbows stay hugged in. And then from here, power up your legs, and then exhale your way back to down dog. Pushing through the palms, spine nice and long, weight even in the hands. So from here, let's bend the knees, look between the hands, take as many steps as you like to come to the top of the mat, feet hip width distance. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shin, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root down with your legs to rise, arms lift all the way up, syncing our breath to movement. Lift. Exhale, hands come down by your side. Inhale, arms lift up. And then exhale, slight bend in the knees, fold over the hips. Inhale again, halfway lift, glide the shoulders down and away. Exhale, fold. And then this time we step back with our right leg. So nice big step back, gently place your right knee down, left ankle in line with the left knee. And then from here, now your left heel energetically is drawing back as your right knee comes forward, scissoring action in the hips. And then here you can take your hands onto your left thigh, maybe play with easing off a bit. So you're scooping that tailbone slightly forward. And then we always still have that slight tone in the belly. You want to keep the integrity and protect the low back here. So ease off and then maybe find the right spot that feels good for you. And then maybe you inhale and you lift the arms up and back, thumbs back, pinkies forward, glide the shoulder blades down and away. So your back foot, your toes can either curl under or you can point the toes, whichever one feels right for you. Maybe you clench that right glute here just to find more stability. Low lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, hands come down to either side of the left foot and then hinge back. So your left leg extends and your left toes come towards your face, opening up in the hamstrings here. Find that long spine. So the more you draw your toes back, the more sensation you're going to feel in your hamstrings and your calves. And then from here, you're going to roll through that front foot, bend the left knee, shift forward. Plant your palms down on either side of your left foot. Power up your back right leg. Step your left foot back to meet your right in high plank. Breathe in to prepare, shift slightly forward. You're going to exhale, hug the elbows in, option to come down to your knees, come down all the way to your belly. Point your toes, elbows squeeze in. Inhale, push into your palms, pubic bone draws down. Tops the feet down on the mat, lift. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes underneath. From here, you're gonna inhale, push into your palms through plank or just through table like this. Power up your legs. Exhale back, downward dog. And just take 2 cycles of breath here in your down dog. Glide those shoulders down the back. Relax your neck. And then from here, we'll gently bring our knees down to the mat and then swing your legs forward in front of you. Find a seated position. So from here, shimmy your way forward so you have enough space when you lie down onto your back. You're gonna roll yourself down nice and gently. You're gonna have your feet planted, hip width distance apart, and draw your heels close to your glutes. We're going to prepare for bridge pose, so a gentle inversion. You're going to press your feet into the mat and you're going to lift the hips up. So you want to imagine your tailbone drawing towards your knees, so you're finding that length. Your palms could press into the mat, maybe you grab the outer edges of the mat. Now here, making sure our knees aren't winking out to the side, you want to imagine that you're gently squeezing a beach ball between the legs. You want to lift the hip points up. Maybe here you can interlace the hands behind you, just an option, and then start to shimmy your shoulders in a little closer together. Press the back of your head into the mat. See if your breath travels freely here. And then if your hands are interlaced, you release that, take your shoulders back out, and then we'll slowly roll ourselves down. So upper back, and then your mid back, and then your low back, and then draw your knees in towards your chest. So use your biceps here to feel that compression in your hips as you draw your knees in. And then we're going to come into a twist. So your arms will come out into a T with your palms facing upright. Take your shins parallel to the ceiling, knees in line with your hips. And then drop your knees over to the left. So you're going to roll onto your left side. And then don't worry if your knees stay aligned here. Just make it a little bit more passive. And then relax your right shoulder down. Maybe if it's comfortable for your neck, you bring your eyes and your gaze over to the right. Also have the option here to take your left hand to hold on to your right thigh just for a little more support. And then inhale your way through center. And then knees will come over to the right, other side. And then bring your gaze over to the left as you relax this left shoulder down. Inhale your way with control to center. From here, we're going to find happy baby. So you're going to take your arms to the inside of the legs. You're going to flex your feet and then draw your knees towards your underarms. So your knees are now parallel to the ground. You can grab your shins or your ankles here to begin, or maybe you can reach for the outer edges of your feet. So imagine here that you're squatting against the ceiling. You want to relax the shoulders so your ankles will come in line with the knees. Relax your tailbone down to the mat. And then see here, if your chin's way up higher than your forehead, draw your chin down to lengthen the back of your neck. So you can be still here, or maybe you want to try rocking from side to side. And then slowly release. Come into a ball one more time. Draw your knees in towards your chest. And then we're going to extend our legs out long into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So extend your legs out, maybe as wide as the mat. Here you can let your arms rest down by your side with your palms flipped open so we can keep the chest open. Maybe you gently shimmy the shoulder blades together. And from here, we'll take one cleansing breath. So breathe in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And then letting your weight go into the support of the ground beneath you, because there is nothing left for you to do but to receive the effects of your practice. Let your breath be natural, and think heavy, heavy bones. And we'll slowly start to deepen the breath. Feeling your breath stretch you from the inside out. And bringing some movement back, wiggling the fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. And bringing your arms up overhead for a nice big stretch. Point your toes. Take your knees in towards you, giving yourself a hug. And then you can roll off onto one side, any side you like. Coming into this fetal position just for a moment. And then we'll use our top hand to help bring us up to a seated position. You can sit cross-legged, or if you'd rather kneel, if that's more comfortable, you can do that. And then here we'll come with our palms to touch in heart center, a slight bow of your chin, taking a moment to acknowledge your practice and for showing up and going through the whole practice from start to finish. Noticing how you feel. And then from here, I'd like to say thank you for your trust. From my heart to yours, namaste.